noise. If you know that if we're talking about freedom, that means abolishing ICE, make some noise. If you know that we're talking about freedom and free Palestine means all people free.
All right, we're live here from Philadelphia, Breakthrough News. My name is Alexandra, and I'm going to be covering this mobilization today for Breakthrough. This is a march of veterans against fascism. People are here from different organizations. From the United States, about faith, center and conscience support, conscientious objectors, all out here with a united message, veterans against fascism. They're out here to reject Trump's drive to endless wars, reject the use of the military on the streets of the United States, particularly with the ICE raids on American cities. So it's, you know, a counter protest, of course, to the main independent celebration.
It's not working. It should be.
It's kind of quiet.
Oh, okay. It's because it's so noisy.
If you were here to see the Declaration of Independence, you gotta go wait around across the street. But that's not what it's about. We know what it's about. We know why we're here. Yeah? We just say about it. We know we're here because
All right, let's try that one more time. I'm Zoe Alexandra with Breakthrough News. We're here in Philadelphia, where there is a mass mobilization taking place, largely composed of veterans, U.S. veterans and the armed forces, who are part of a big coalition called Veterans Against Fascism. Veterans Against Fascism is a coalition of organizations like Veterans About Faith, Center of Conscience and War, and other organizations that have organized veterans who oppose the U.S.'s drive to endless war. The demands today that we have brought people out here are opposing Trump's deployment of U.S. troops on American streets, opposing, of course, the illegal war in Iran. A lot of these things have driven more and more people within the U.S. Armed Forces to object to these actions. We know that there's been an uptick in conscious objector petitions filed. So we're going to be on the streets following this march, speaking to different people, asking them why they're here today. And why is it important while Trump is celebrating 250 years of the United States that they're out here in the streets of Philadelphia, which was the first U.S. capital, to send their message. So we're going to bring on our first interviewee. Hey, can you say your name and what organization you're coming from?
My name is Amber Mathwick, and I'm always about face veterans against the war.
Amazing. Okay, Amber, why are you out here on the streets of Philadelphia today?
I am out here as a veteran who, after my service and really processing it, realized that a lot of these supposed freedoms that are written into the Constitution, that are written into our laws, largely by the controlling class of men in capitalism, were lies, and that the military is often used as a way to pedestal some people over others. And I do not have any issue with immigrants or migrants coming to our country, especially because a lot of the reasons that they're coming is because the United States military has actually destabilized their own country, either through direct occupation and war, or through, a lot of Central America, South America, through subterfuge during the 80s and the 90s, and even more recently, and that we really need to be paying attention to those things. I'm from Minnesota. I live in a suburb of the Twin Cities metro area, and the ICE occupation this past winter and continuing until now has just been absolutely atrocious, and I am appalled that anybody could think that, lack of due process and violently abducting people and murdering people, and the 51 plus people that have died in ICE custody just in the past few months is, I don't know how more people aren't out in the streets every day trying to change this.
And for you, why is it important that so many veterans specifically have taken to the streets on July 4th?
Yeah. Again, kind of going back to, we're really pedestaled and platformed as like the ideal citizenship, and that anybody who is not us, anybody who does not support us, is somehow anti-American. And that we want to use that privilege, that pedestal, to really call attention to all of these contradictions that are very prevalent in our society and have shown up just immensely over the past 2 years of the Trump administration. You cannot use us for your propaganda.
Yeah, and what's your message to Trump, who's out there? Last night he said that U.S. leftists are the biggest threat to the idea of the nation of the United States. What's your message for Donald Trump with all of these kind of absurd things that he's saying?
If that is your idea of the United States, I'm glad that you see us as a threat.
Amazing, amazing. Well, we're gonna.
I haven't heard that yet.
It was in the eve of the July 4th speech that he gave last night. I unfortunately saw it before going to bed.
Okay, I did not.
Yeah, I mean, he's really...
Breakthrough News always bringing me one piece that I haven't heard of yet.
Amazing. Well, we're going to be following the march today, and thank you so much. We're definitely going to
thank you all for being out here and, documenting this very historic time frame for us.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Well, thank you so much. And, people are lining up here. Again,
we're kicking off at 10, so...
Amazing. There's contingents, again, from different progressive organizations in Philly. We have Vets About Face, Center on Conscience and War. A lot of different groups are here to oppose the mainstream message that Trump is sending with his massive 4th of July celebrations, freedom, allegedly at 250. We've seen a lot of signs contesting this idea of what freedom really means in this moment. And so we're going to be talking to a lot of people who are out here and asking them what freedom means to them. And what does it mean to be putting vets on a pedestal when they are not very interested in hearing what they have to say and what their perspective is on Trump's drive to war and on Trump's occupation of U.S. streets using U.S. service members. So.
Thank you. Thanks for being out here and connecting. Yeah, no worries. So, from what I understand, from what I understand is that we're the Missionary Party over a reformist. So we've had
Let's switch sides real quick.
Amazing. Okay, I'm Zoe Alexandra, journalist with Breakthrough News. First, can you tell me your name and what organization you're here with?
My name is Matt Mitchell, and I'm with About Face Veterans Against the War, and I came from Colorado Springs.
Okay, amazing. That's a long journey. Can you tell us why you made that journey to be here today in the streets of Philadelphia?
Yeah, I think it's really important for veterans to step up in this time. I don't think enough of us that have served in this country, served for this country, really served for the reasons why we were in the military. We served to support basic sustainability of people's lives here in this country. We see that being eroded away, and we're here to say, not in our name. We want more money to go into the aspects of our society that really need the money, not just lumped into this whole military budget that works against sustainability and works towards the profits of the billionaire class.
And what drove you into this kind of organizing that brings you out here today?
I was really disillusioned after coming back from the Iraq War in 2009, and I was looking for a community of veterans that really had a different perspective on war and a different perspective on what it meant to wear this uniform. And I found that it was once Iraq Veterans Against War that's now About Face Veterans Against War.
Amazing. And what is your message for the Trump administration, which today says they speak in supporting veterans and that they love the armed services, have done all of these huge military shows and parades and flyovers? What is your message for all of them today?
We really support veterans and service members. You won't be cutting the programs at the VA. You won't be taking money away from the services and the needs of everybody in this country. Because as service members and veterans, we we did this to support a better lifestyle for our country. Like, we're supposed to move forward. Every generation is supposed to be better than the generation before them. We see that that's not the case now. Like, more and more people are finding themselves, you know, without the resources they need. And I think it's just like taglines and we're political props that are useful for politicians, like the Trump administration, to just say that they support veterans, but the actions don't work that way.
Yeah, and I mean, what would be your message for young people who are really looking for a pathway forward and see in the armed services a way to get there and to get their future?
I think they need to look into join the military a little bit more than what the recruiters might tell them. I personally think that the military is not a good avenue. Like all the benefits that they claim that are available for service members that become veterans just doesn't really hold true. Like some, especially for LGBTQ veterans and BIPOC veterans, they're just not getting the services that they deserve. So it's really a lie that there's all these benefits that come out of military service, and the job skills that you get really don't translate well into civilian world. You're better off getting into an apprenticeship as a civilian and working your way through an apprenticeship. That's more worthwhile than putting your life on the line for the millionaire class that really just treats people as disposable.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us today at Breakthrough News. We're going to be following the march and maybe we'll follow up with the others.
All right, thanks for being here.
Great. Amazing. Okay, we're going to talk to someone else right now. A lot of strong messages against Trump and against the billionaire class right now. And people are getting ready to march. Hey, how's it going? I'm Zoe Alexandra with Breakthrough News. No, you're good. All right. If you can just start off maybe by introducing yourself.
Hello. I said hello. Hey everybody, it's great to see your beautiful faces.
And
we're
what brought you out here
gonna
today?
get moving shortly.
I'm with About Face organization. And you know, as a veteran,
We got drummers, we got our voices, we got our feet. All of these are instruments for us to create the harmonies of the future, the harmonies of love. But to use any of these instruments, we need our breath. We need our breath. Please take care of yourself today. It's hot. Drink your water. Go in the shade. But it's all about the breath. And our breath is what we share in common with every person out here. We're all breathing the same air. We live on the same planet Earth.
Instead of sitting down and let them do whatever they
And
want.
that's what's being played. So let's take some deep breaths. Breathe in
Good. Thank you.
and out.
I think that the march is
Breathe
getting
in.
ready to kick off right over here.
And out.
So, yeah, I think
And we
it's
breathe the
the
breath,
official parade
not
that
just
the
of
city
ourselves.
of Philadelphia had organized.
Not just of our present selves, but of our ancestors.
July
The
4th has
past.
been canceled
And of our
because of the heat,
children,
but again,
the
there's
future.
over 1,000
So please,
veterans
find
that are out
something
here today.
that grounds you in this moment. One of my ancestors is William Still, and he was a founder, father of the Underground Railroad with Harriet Tubman. He's got a house where they would meet and where black people would become free and they would risk their lives to come to this office, to this house, so that they could live in Philadelphia, so they can make it farther north. And that's the path that we're carrying, right? We're all on a path here today. We're taking over the streets. That's a path that leads us to our destiny, to a future where we all have food and housing, and children have schools with teachers that love them. Woo! So if you could please put your hand over your heart. Feel your heart beat. Because your blood carries oxygen from your breath to your heart that glows with love. And as we march, we all have to be vigilant. We're all leaders here today. We're the leaders that we need. So if you see someone who maybe they got their head down, get them some water. If you see that you're leaving somebody behind, slow down. Slow down. We've got all the time we need. And so, we're going to sing this song. I'm going to start, and we're just going to carry it on. But this is thinking about our futures. Not just for ourselves in 10 years, not just for our children, but for the next 250 years. That's right, for the next 250 years. Okay, the song goes like this. We are standing for our futures, we are healing what is wrong. We are standing for our future, and together we are strong. We are standing for our future, we are healing what is wrong. We are standing for our future, and together we are strong. Look. We are standing for our future, we are healing what is wrong. We are standing for our future, and together we are strong. Medium. We are standing for our future, we are healing what is wrong. We are standing for our future, and together we are loud. We are standing for our future, we are healing what is wrong. We are standing for our future, and together we are strong. We are standing for our future, we are healing what is wrong. We are standing for our future, and together we are strong. Woo! Give it up, give it up. Here we go.
Incredible, y'all. How are you feeling that breath in your body? Woo! Are you ready to move like free people? Yeah. To free people? Towards a freer future? Like we said, for our ancestors, for this present, our communities that are with us and our communities that are not, our loved ones who are locked up behind the walls, our loved ones who are afraid to come out of their homes because of unlawful, unjust, and cruel practices by ICE. Abolish ICE, let's hear it. Abolish ICE, let me hear it. Let's go, let's go. We're in these streets for our loved ones, our laborers throughout history, on stolen land, in spaces built with stolen labor, over generations and decades. We're here for the workers of the world. Make some noise if you're here for workers today. And for the labor that is often erased, for the mothers and caregivers, the people who are raising children and raising freedom fighters, the ones who are doing the care work that goes under-recognized and undervalued. Make some noise if you're here for those workers today, too. We make some noise for our healers. We make some noise for the ones who provide care, the ones who offer us love and support, who show us that nurturance is actually the vision forward, that sustainability is the only way forward. Make some noise for the healers and the caretakers. And make some noise for the freedom fighters, for our political prisoners, for the ones who have risked to break down walls, jailbreak our people, freedom fighters all over the world, not just here on Turtle Island, for our lovers who have spoken out against ICE, who have spoken out against imperialism, who have been charged with 100 years for a zine, right? Make some noise for the ones who have been stolen from us by corruption, by crookedness, by violence. Make some noise. Take heart. Take a breath for those who have lost their time, who have lost their connections to their family, who are languishing behind the walls, who have lost, who have given their lives. For us, for our freedom, for true liberation. Make some noise for the freedom fighters. For all political prisoners. And make some noise for the ones who participate in these systems but wake up to the illusions of separateness and turn from them, reject them and choose each other, like our veterans against fascism. Make some noise. Make some noise for the ones who choose each other. And make some noise now for the future we know is possible when we choose each other. For the ones yet to be born, for the ones yet to cross the borders, we together will break down. For the children who deserve a livable planet, dignity, liberty, justice, and I'm not talking about the liberty they're talking about in the Independence Hall over there. I'm talking about true freedom. I'm talking about liberation. If you're here for the ones who've yet to come, make some noise. Y'all, we are ready to move. Are y'all ready to move? You've been singing, you've been holding each other, you've been checking in, you are ready to throw down and show Philadelphia exactly who we are. The city of brotherly love, sisterly affection, and sibling rivalry. We will fight. We will fight for one another. And we will demonstrate to the world that if we're talking about liberation, we're talking about liberty. We're celebrating independence. It's independence from billionaires, independence from fascists, independence from anyone who would limit us, who would lock us up, who would do us harm. We're here to free ourselves and free each other. So if you're ready to declare that kind of interdependence, that kind of connection to one another, make some noise. Now we know why we're here. We're going to have a moment. We've got some important safety information we want to relay to you. Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? I know some of y'all are visiting from out of town. You might not be used to Philadelphia. We're here for you, but we just got to show you how we do. Who keeps us safe? That's right. You got no business talking to these pigs back here. They sure won't do it. But we're going to have an announcement right now about how we're going to keep each other safe, some safety information. So please, if you can hear the sound of my voice, make sure that that information is getting sent back through the crowd. We got a standard mic check going. There's a whole lot of us here today. Yes? Y'all ready? All right, give it up for the comrade and some safety information. I love you so much.
No, it's not gonna.
Hi everybody, I'm Sophie. I am one of your medic and care team folks on the ground today. I am so glad to be here with all of you. Make some noise for just being here, taking care of each other, showing up together. Amazing. Okay, so we are marching today on one of the hottest days of the year. We have to take care of each other. We have many volunteer teams on the ground today to help you. Our care team is marching alongside of you. They are wearing orange armbands, blue duct tape, and or blue bandanas. They are here to support you. They've got water wagons or know where the water wagons are. The orange folks are going to be directing traffic to help keep us safe. Reach out to somebody if you need us. Medics are marked with red crosses. If you or someone next to you is experiencing a medical emergency, including heat-related medical emergency, please call out medic and or cross your hands over your head in an X so we can visually spot you. You can also let one of the other care team members know, and they have easy access to us. So if you see medic team attending to someone, please give them space and allow privacy for care. We are here practicing our First Amendment right. We're assembling peacefully, but the cops can sometimes be pushy even so. If you are concerned with police aggression, please find a safety team member. Don't handle it yourself. Safety team, again, is marked with the orange bandanas. We will send over legal observers and safety to handle it for you. It is not your job to deal with that. Tap in a safety member. They are trained to help with that situation. This is highly unlikely, but if we are faced with any aggression, we're going to assess the situation with support from our safety team. Our safety team is who's going to make that call. They're going to direct us to lock arms and hold a line against state forces to make sure that everyone gets to safety. If you feel moved to join them in that line, please feel free to do so. Listen to the folks with the orange bandanas. They're going to make sure that you know what to do. If you don't feel moved, that is totally okay. We take care of each other. Everyone has a role. There are a few social media influencers who like to agitate folks into a fight. They are obsessed with us. Please ignore them. Don't give them any attention. What they want is your attention. Anything you say to them is giving them what they want. If you have people with no microphones that don't deserve your energy, and any energy you give them will monetize what they're doing. Again, the thing that they want from you is to talk to you. Do not give them that.
So what's going to happen is we're going to start promoting the direction it's going to be the oncoming intersection company.
Okay, for those of you who are just tuning in now, Breakthrough News is here in Philadelphia, where there is a mobilization organized by Veterans Against Fascism. This is a coalition of Veterans About Faith, Center and Conscience in War, several different organizations that are organizing vets in the United States, and they're here to counter the narrative that the Trump administration and President Donald Trump himself is trying to, broadcast with this massive Freedom 250 celebration, which again paints a very whitewashed vision of what U.S. history is, says that he's speaking for the troops, but here are veterans here that have a different message and have a different understanding of U.S. history and Trump's current drive to war. So they're out here today with several main demands. One, to oppose the U.S. illegal war on Iran that was jointly launched with Israel at the end of February. They're also here to oppose the deployment of U.S. troops to the streets of the United States to help carry out ICE raids. We know that, for example, in Minneapolis in December and January, 3,000 federal agents were deployed to Minneapolis to assist the Department of Homeland Security in the massive attempt to carry out a massive deportation operation. There are other cities which have seen, the deployment of the National Guard. And so one of the main demands here is that service members should not be deployed on U.S. streets. And people are raising the alarm and sounding the alarm about the possibility of U.S. service members even being used to in the elections in November. There is a latent threat that many believe could take place. So there's a lot of strong demands here. They're out here to send a different message and redefine what the July 4th means to vets. So we're joined by another participant right now. Can you tell us your name and who you're here with?
My name is Ramon. I'm here with Veterans Against Fascism. I'm from Texas. I'm here to stand up against this government that's taking away our rights, that is abusing our communities. I'm here for my friend who was sentenced to 30 years, Des, from the Prairie Land Defendants. So I'm here to lift his voice up and to say to try and free them as well.
I'm really, incredible. The Prairie Land case is a very, very clear violation of all sorts of due process rights, just basic civil liberties. Can you talk a little bit more about this case and how it impacts you, just being someone who has actually served this country?
Yeah, there is no due process. The rights were taken away. They were infringed upon. We as veterans are taught this thing that we're about to, we're supposed to be standing up for liberty and freedom and justice. And what we're seeing on these streets that are happening to communities, immigrant communities, black and brown communities, queer communities, trans communities are being, violated, or being abused by this government and this administration.
And what brought you into About Face?
I deployed in 2003 to Iraq as part of the invasion. I saw the war and the carnage that we created. We weren't there to free anybody. We were there to occupy and brutalize the people. So when I came back, I knew that I was going to stand up against militarism, however it shows up in all our communities, from the police to prisons to the occupying forces that are terrorizing not only here on the inland and on Turtle Island, but other forces that are in the territories across the world.
And last thing before we let you go, what is your message to the Trump administration today that's celebrating Freedom 250 out in D.C.?
There is no freedom on these streets. We are the ones that are going to bring freedom to this country.
Thank you so much for joining us here at Breakthrough News. Amazing. Lots of people out here today. And again, the official parade that Philadelphia organized has been canceled because of the heat. But the heat is no match for the thousands of people that have come out here from across the country. We just spoke to someone from Texas. We spoke to someone earlier who came from Colorado, someone from Minnesota. People all wanting to bring the message that the Trump administration does not speak for them. And in fact, as vets, they are seeing their rights undermined and infringed on. Basic cuts to the VA, their services, things that they were guaranteed when they, risked their lives and served in different military campaigns of the U.S. And so now they're out here today, not only demanding respect of their rights as veterans, but a lot more than that, too, so that their name is not used by this administration that has, again, driven to more wars, putting more people, not only from the United States, but across the world in harm's way. But also the deployment of people to the streets of U.S. And we just spoke to Ramon, who said that he's here for his friend who was given 30 years as part of the Prairie Land case. We covered this on Breakthrough News last week. There are, I think, over 10 people that were sentenced in the Prairie Land case just for going to a noise protest outside an ICE detention facility. People who just participated in the protest, people who didn't even participate in the protest, but moved zines from a car to their garage. These are people that are being faced with decades of jail sentences, and of course these are all being appealed, but it's another example of the Trump administration's attempt to crush the dissent that has been flaring up in areas across the country in opposition to the policies like the deployment of ICE, like the mass deportation drive, and cutting people's rights, whether it be vets, whether it be federal workers. And so this is another expression of that very vibrant resistance to the Trump administration policies, and coming exactly from the people that Trump claims to represent. We have, Pete Hegseth, who's, the Secretary of War, who constantly touts his credentials as a veteran, but clearly not interested in talking to people like this. So let's hear a little about what's happening. Can you tell us your name and what organization you're with?
I am Livia Lázaro, and I'm here with Military Families Speak Out.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about why you're out here today? What brought you here to Philadelphia?
Well, I flew from San Diego because we have to hold our government accountable, but mainly because we need to end these forever wars. I'm a combat veteran of the Iraq War, and now my stepchild is there and a lot of our family members. We need to stop these wars. We're not even close to taking care of the veterans from the past wars. So we don't need to keep going into wars, especially not veteran wars. No war is good, but at least make that the last resort. And
the organization Military Families Against War. Can you talk a bit about what the work looks like today? And as a combat veteran, what does it mean to be opposing the war and even having a family member now in this?
So Military Families Speak Out is exactly for the military families. We're not an anti-war organization, but war is the last resort, like I said, as a combat veteran, and I'm still carrying the scars of war. That's what I was saying, we have processes in place, to be able to vet these wars, right? They have to go to Congress. They have to do all these different things, and they're not doing that. No. Okay.
Yeah. No, for sure. And no, I just say last question for you today. What is your message to the Trump administration?
Get it together. We're tired. We are the front line for defending this country. Now we are the front line and holding you accountable to do the right thing by the American people. You're deporting veterans. You're deporting veteran family members. We're not going to stand for it. No?
Yeah, and what does it mean to protect vets' rights in this moment? And what are some of the attacks that you've seen take place against veterans' rights and benefits?
Well, actually, right now they're trying to take benefits away from future veterans with an act that is out there right now. Also, a lot of the things that I forgot the question.
The attacks on veterans' rights right now.
Oh, yes, the attacks. Every time that we turn around, they're trying to sneak verbiage or bills in that take away our rights. They've cut the funding for the VAs. We've lost over 300 positions in most VAs, and most of those were already critical. We're waiting 3 months for our mental health appointments. Like, we are losing veterans to suicide, 22 a day, and that's with the resources we had. So, like, if you want to have these wars, then plan for the warriors when they come back and the family members to help us, to provide the resources, to have the medical care that we need for us, for our families, and, help us, get through it. So, you want to plan a war, you want to go to war, but you don't have a plan for us to come back. And actually, there's really no plan for this war.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us here at Breakthrough News, and we're going to be following the march, so we'll see you out there.
Right now.
All right, we are back with Maxine more. So once again, just for those who are tuning in right now, can you just tell us your name and who you're out here with today?
Maxine Reveles with About Face.
Okay, great. And what brought you here from Texas all the way to Philadelphia?
As a veteran, we fought for our rights. You know what I mean? We're getting ready to give our lives for this country. And right now in my city, they're bulldozing literally and figuratively our rights and literally our land, to build the border wall and put buoys in our only source of water.
Great. And what brought you from service into this kind of organizing?
I realized the lies that we were fed. They keep the cycle going by feeding the belly of the beast, and you really don't realize it until you're pulled out and you go to other countries looking at us for the vile country that we are.
Mm-hmm. And what are the main demands of the protest today, and what are you kind of motivated to, what's your message right now?
For me, at least, we want ICE off our streets. We want the troops off our streets. Our troops were not made for that, and keep them out of the ballot boxes.
Okay, great. And can you tell us a little bit more about the struggle with, occupying land and access to water in your state of Texas?
So in San Ignacio, it was a couple of us that mobilized to stop the bulldozing in the bird sanctuary. Because the feds falsely claimed that they owned the land. They handed out contracts, and it turns out it's private land. They did not own it. So it'll take decades to repair that, and they're doing this across the nation. So we're trying to sound the alarm to let people know that they're not alone, and veterans are behind them, like organizations like About Face ready to do the work to help them.
And we know that the U.S. military is the biggest polluter in the entire world and is the biggest contributor to climate change. So how does that, what is your reaction to that?
It's just this country's a walking contradiction so many times. You know what I mean? And we finally see it for what it is. it's just insane. It's insane that more people don't see it, but I'm happy to see so many people out here. Little by little, I think people are waking up because people won't mobilize until they're affected directly, and it's getting hard to not get affected directly now.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a pretty massive mobilization of vets. Have you been in anything this size of veterans, of service members?
No, in my city, it's hard to get women to come out to a Women's Day march. You know what I mean? Like, that's too political for some of them. So to see this, it's amazing to be around so many amazing people willing to once again put their bodies on the line to defend this country the right way.
Yeah, and I mean, in that vein, like, the Trump administration speaks on behalf of vets, speaks on behalf of the U.S. service members so often. What do you want people to take away from really what, you know, service members like your former service members like yourselves think and how you view the situation today?
If people really want to thank veterans for their service, they can actually start listening to us because so many of us are sounding the alarm. There's active duty military members right now, officers sounding the alarm. Like, you can't ignore it. If you really respect our military, you would want us to keep y'all safe because as things are going, the good people are walking out the door, getting fired, and people are taking notice. People are taking notice.
Okay, well, Maxine, thank you so much for speaking to us again here on Breakthrough News. I think we're about to start to march, so we'll see you out there.
So I'm sorry, I'm going to make you work a little bit. We're going to pick up our tempo. You ready? Y'all ready? Pick it up. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. We say, the people united will never be defeated. Say, the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Say, the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Say, the people united will never be defeated. Say, we say, rule the street.
All right, we are on the move here in Philly. Again, there's over 1,000 people out here from different progressive organizations and the Coalition Veterans Against Fascism. A lot of people here from About Face. Military families speak out. Really, truly an impressive turnout here. Again, the official march organized by the city of Philadelphia, the parade for 250 years of the United States was canceled because of the heat. But again, you still have people out here to send their message to the Trump administration, protect our neighbors, ICE out, calling for an end to Trump's endless wars, calling for U.S. service members off the streets of the United States. Again, we spoke to someone who mentioned the Prairieland case, a very clear instance of the Trump administration trying to shut down dissent to his very unpopular policies. We know that the majority of people in the United States oppose the ICE occupation of U.S. cities. They have the majority of voters oppose the U.S. Israeli war on Iran. And these are the people who are opposing it, and they're trying to send their message not only to the Trump administration, but to the people of the United States, that when Trump says that he's speaking for veterans, he's not really speaking for them, because this is their message, that they don't support war. In fact, again, their services are being cut. We spoke to a combat veteran from the Iraq War, and she was raising the alarm about the fact that mental health services continue to be cut, and that 22 veterans die by suicide every single day. And so when you have such a drastic suicide rate, and those same mental health services are being cut, that's obviously a public health crisis. And so, while Trump and Pete Hegseth say that they're speaking on behalf of military families, veterans, they're actually attacking their rights and their services. So, again, this is truly an impressive showing. We know that there are actually active service members out here as well, who are facing indictment, who are facing, legal consequences for speaking out. At Breakthrough News, we've covered this extensively. We've spoken to these active service members who, enraged by the Trump administration's violation of people's rights, have been opposing these policies and willing to put their lives on the line once again to oppose these policies. So we're going to be speaking to some of them today as well. But really, truly an impressive showing out here in Philadelphia. We can see all these signs if we want to fan to the crowd.
also a dual member.
Okay, great. So, can you tell us your name and the organization you're out here with?
Yes. My name's Eitan Maborak. I'm the organizing manager for the National Iranian American Council, or NIAC.
Amazing. So what brings you out here today?
I'm out here because Iranian Americans are overwhelmingly opposed to reckless war on their homeland, to the detention and deportation of their neighbors, and to the fascist policies of this Trump administration that is desecrating the legacy of rights that Americans have fought for and that immigrants like Iranian Americans have been able to enjoy.
Well, similarly to the way that the Trump administration says it speaks on behalf of vets, it also said that it was speaking on behalf of Iranian Americans and Iranians in the diaspora who are so against the Islamic Republic that they had to start a war. So can you speak on that? Is the Trump administration acting in the best interest of Iranian Americans, starting the Israeli-U.S. war on Iran?
Absolutely not. That war has made life much more difficult for Iranians there, bombing and killing children, bombing hospitals, bombing schools, bombing residential areas, bombing infrastructure, bridges, every university, Azadi Stadium. There are countless civilian sites that were hit. And ultimately, Iran's freedom, the freedom of that country, will be decided by the 90 million people that live there, just like America's freedom has to be decided by the 300 million people that live here, not by billionaires, not by special interests, not by AIPAC or the Foundation for Defense of Democracies or for pro-war lobbying groups. And that's what NIAC is standing for. We're standing for the vast majority of Iranian Americans who don't believe in war as a means of changing the government in Iran. They believe in diplomacy, they believe in sanctions relief, and for ordinary people to decide their own futures.
And right now, obviously, that Iran and the United States signed a historic memorandum of understanding, but it seems like the war hawks in Washington are already trying to undermine that agreement. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the memorandum of understanding is a critical first step to end the war. It's wrong for people to compare it to the JCPOA, which was a negotiated agreement with experts in the room. The memorandum of understanding is the first step to stopping the war, and it recognizes that sanctions relief is a critical part to build back trust, which was lost by the United States when we bombed Iran twice through the course of negotiations. And we're going to have to exercise restraint on Israeli aggression in Lebanon. It's now, as NIAC has been warning, a regional war, and the memorandum of understanding is the first step to stopping that towards rebuilding trust through diplomacy.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on Breakthrough News. As always, we'll be back with NIAC for further interviews. Thank you so much.
what communities are currently actively occupied? U.S. policing looks a lot like U.S. imperialist violence all over the world, right? And so when we talk about liberation, we mean down, down with occupation, both here in Philadelphia, on Turtle Island, and all around the world. Yes, make some noise. So we're going to bring that up in the encampments. When I say up, up with liberation, you say... That's right, you say down, down with occupation. Are we ready for that? We say up, up with liberation. Say up, up with liberation. Say up, up with liberation. Up, up with liberation. We say up, up with liberation. Down, down with the occupation. Up, up with liberation.
It's my job now.
Down with the occupation.
Do you want me to get your neck?
Let's go liberation. Down, down with occupation.
Down with occupation.
Up, up with liberation. Down, down with occupation. Up, up with liberation. Down, down with the occupation. Anywhere, say up, up with liberation. Down, down with occupation. We say down, down with occupation. We say down, down with occupation. What do we want? Say justice. What do we want? Right now, say what do we want? Justice. What do we want? Right now, if we don't get it. 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 What do we want? And what do we want? Right now, say what do we want? Justice. And what do we want? Right now, if we don't get it. 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 What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Right now, say what do we want? Justice. Say what do we want? Right now, if we don't get it. If we don't get it.
So for those of you who are just joining our stream right now, we are live from the streets of Philadelphia, where over 1,000 members of Veterans Against Fascism are marching on the same day that the U.S. is celebrating 250 years since its founding. There's a massive kind of celebration that's being organized in Washington, D.C. There's been a whole series of celebrations organized by the Trump administration under the banner of Freedom 250. A real whitewashing of U.S. history, talking about the glorious past, not really acknowledging the true foundations of the country, and attempting to hold up the United States as a moment where there's real challenge and there's real hardship that's taking place. Right now we're in July, just 4 months since the U.S. launched the illegal war on Iran with Israel. This war not only cost the lives of Iranian people, of people in Lebanon, of U.S. service members, but this also launched an unprecedented global economic crisis, which hit a lot of the global south, but also hit people here in the United States. People saw their gas prices go up. People saw the price of consumer goods skyrocket at a moment where the majority of people in the United States already suffer from economic instability. Lots of people out here today, which is great to see. And so, at this moment where it was actually Trump's illegal war in Iran that did cause so many hardships for people, people are calling into question this narrative that, that Trump is a president of peace. We know that he ran his campaign on the promise that he would end all wars, that he would start no new wars, and that's not what has happened. We've seen just in this year, January 3rd, the United States launched a unilateral military attack on Venezuela, killing over 100 Venezuelans, and capturing, kidnapping Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. This followed 3 months of military strikes on the Caribbean Ocean, the East Pacific, that have killed over 200 people, accused without evidence of being drug traffickers, when in essence a lot of these people have actually been small fishermen. So there's a lot that people are angry about right now, and it has been U.S. service members who have been forced to carry out these illegal attacks, and that's why a lot of people are angry about what Trump is doing right now. And on top of that, if it weren't enough what Trump was doing outside the country, of course, we know that in the last year, in this desperate drive to reach the decided upon goal of millions and millions of deportations and detentions of immigrants, the Trump administration has launched a crackdown in a lot of U.S. cities, deploying National Guard members. But right now, we are very excited to be joined by a friend of Breakthrough News, Carsey Blendon. She is an artist. She is an activist. She is a member of Artists Against Apartheid, singer-songwriter. Carsey, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, very happy to be here in Philly, one of my favorite cities in my old hometown.
Well, besides it being one of your favorite cities, what brought you out here today?
Well, so I actually got invited by Vets Against Fascism to perform for the veterans and conscientious objectors last night at the Quaker Center. So I came and sang some songs for the vets, and now I'm marching side by side with them, and so honored to be doing it.
Amazing. And why do you think it's important that there are, over 1,000 members of Veterans Against Fascism, conscientious objectors? What does this mean to you right now?
Well, I love thinking about culture and agitprop. That's my favorite thing to think about. And I think when I was in a bar the other night, and I said to somebody in the bar, I'm going to Philly to march with Veterans Against War. And my bartender in this cop bar was like, hell yeah, I would be there with you. That makes so much sense. When you say the veterans are against the war and the active duty GIs are against the war, it carries a lot of cultural weight, and it changes the conversation. People understand it, and they understand why they should trust these people.
Amazing. And, you were on, just a year ago, or less than a year ago, you were on the Freedom Flotilla. I believe you were actually with a veteran. I don't know if they're from About Face, but can you talk about that experience and why that has kind of propelled you even further?
Sure. A couple of my comrades from the Global Samud Flotilla are here with About Face, and they invited me to sing, actually, so that's how I got here. And that experience, to be honest, I've never been in combat. I'm not a military person, but I did get drone striked, and I did get kidnapped by the Israeli military, and I went to a terrorist detention in Israel. And that experience made me really appreciate the importance of clear thought, considering objective conditions, having a good strategy, having good tactics, knowing who your superior is. So I think the military's got some things figured out that we could probably use in our organizations.
Well, you can always learn something. And, right now Trump is down in Washington, D.C. doing this Freedom at 250 celebration. What does freedom mean to you?
Everything for everyone. That's it. Everything for everyone. Everything belongs to everyone. That's what freedom is.
And yes, Carsey has a lot of fans out here. And as an artist, why do you think it's important to be out here today?
Oh, man. Well, artists, our duty, as Nina Simone said, is to reflect the times. So I think that means get in the streets with the people, understand what's happening on the ground. And when we're writing, like, so many artists want to be political right now, and they don't know how to do it. And I always say when people ask, the way to do it is you got to get into the politics. You got to be engaged with the struggle. So get in the streets with the people. That's where all the good songs come from. And it's just more fun.
And your song, Little Flame, has become, in many ways, a protest anthem. We know people from across the entire world are singing it. Is this a little flame? Do you see this?
Absolutely. That's maybe the number one job of protest right now, at least the way we're doing it in the U.S., is to keep the little flame alive. I rarely feel more hopeful than when I'm at an event, at a political event with my comrades. You can feel the solidarity in real life. So it's definitely keeping the little flame alive.
And for those who are watching right now, what are some words of hope and inspiration you can send to them?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I always frame it as, I like to think about it not as hope, but as revolutionary optimism, which is just realism on a very long time scale.
Well, thank you so much, Carsey Bland, an incredible musician and revolutionary. We're so glad that you spoke with us here at Breakthrough News. See you. If you haven't heard Carsey Bland's song, Keep the Little Flame Alive, highly recommend you listen to it on all platforms. Lots of incredible protest music there, revolutionary music to keep you going in the tough times. So that was Carsey Blanton, everyone. All right, and we're back. It's a hot one out here, folks, so The equipment is sensitive. But we will be back with you shortly. And we're good. Amazing. Thanks for bearing with us out here on these hot streets. Again, the official parade organized by the city of Philadelphia was canceled today because of the heat.